this defense should be the defense that we all look for in the NFC, just to be the nastiest defense out there. Believe it or not, they brought back pretty much everyone with the exception of Randy Gregory. Before you guys get into the angry conversational piece, we do have Dante Fowler, if he can get back to the 11.5 sacks that he had when he was playing with the LA Rams in 2019. And I know 19 been a long time from here, but even in the pandemic year, he still was able to produce, I believe, 4 sacks. And then just last season, he was able to produce 4.5 sacks. So you got Dante Fowler. Now, I'm not saying that he is the next Reggie White or anyone, but I'm telling you guys that with Dan Quinn, we just have to wait, right, and see. Keep that in mind. Hear me out, Cowboy Nation. They also have Dorance Armstrong back, who had his best season last year. Now, when you look back at the tape, you can clearly see that the sacks that was generated were more so with the help of everyone else, but we talking about the helping business. We talking about how can a player get helped out. Well, basically about scheme. It's all about scheme. Ron Curse, before last year, a lot of people were like, hey, man, this dude, he ain't going to really bring a lot to the table. And then, bam, Ron Curse brought a lot to the table. Oh, excuse me, you have Micah Parsons, who one can argue when you look up Micah Parsons. Last year, 80 tackle, 30 QB hits. He's in company with the J.J. Watt as well as the Marcus Ware. Yes. In 15 seasons, no one did that. So when you look at everything of what Parsons brings to the table, you got to say to yourself, all right, cool. You can have your reservations on Malik Hooker because you didn't see him play the full year, but he was coming along pretty well. Malik Hooker was showing us that, hey, he belonged. And I think the Cowboys are not done yet in the free agency. After the draft, they may bring in a few guys, but let's not sleep on the fact that you can go into this draft and you can draft some safeties as well. But neither here nor there. Kelvin Joseph, he's going to compete to be that other corner on the opposite side of Diggs, so I can't wait to see that. So what do we do in this particular draft? Well, we're looking for more help and more opportunities to get to the quarterback, right? What if I told you guys Boye Mafe could be that guy that can help this team out, right? He's a 4.5 guy, run crazy fast off the edge, and I'm telling you, this dude played through the echoes of the whistle. Yes, he's freakishly athletic. He's 6'4", 265 pounds. And he can really get to the quarterback. This guy, Boye Mafe, he will be the guy that you can put out there immediately and say, all right, you don't have to be the starter. We can literally, slowly, and put him into the system. It don't have to be break glass is emergency. Let's put him out there as the edge rusher. No. Slowly move him in to fight and compete against Dorance Armstrong. To fight and to compete against Dante Fowler. That is what I'm looking at. Oh, and keep in mind, Cowboy Nation, there's a guy by the name of Chauncey Golston who we can all say this right here, Cowboy Nation. He didn't do anything in OTAs. He didn't play any of the preseason games. He had to come right into the season, and all he did was finish the season with 2 sacks. Before you guys say, hey, Law, that ain't nothing. Come on, Cowboy Nation. As a part-time rusher and as a guy that was inserted in without training camp to give us and produce us 2 sacks, that goes a long way. It flat out do. So let's not sleep on that. The other prospect that we can take a real good look at, Nick Bonitto. When you think of pass rushers in general, you think of somebody that's bendy, flexible enough to get to the edge, right? That's somebody that we had out of Randy Gregory. And we all know Randy Gregory had his demons with us and of course, the NFL rulings that just didn't fit well with him. But neither here nor there, Nick Bonitto. In the past few years, coming out of the draft, there have been only 2 edge rushers better than him as relates to number grades or what have you, and that's Chase Young and Myles Garrett. Nick Bonitto averaged 94.0 as it relates to the pass rushing grade. He had 93 pressures. And I'm going to tell you, Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa right under him. He beat out those guys since 2011. So when you think of Nick Bonitto, the guy that can play left or right, the guy that can bend and get around quick, he's a 4-5 guy as well. Kind of puts you in the mindset of Von Miller. And I'm not saying that he's Von Miller, by the way, but that's how quick he is. Burst, acceleration, strong hands, knock things out of the way, and he can get to the quarterback. It's amazing, Cowboy Nation. And let me tell you guys about this other prospect, Sam Williams. Sam Williams, we do know that the Cowboys are in love with Sam Williams. We do know that. Now, he's a guy that may drop to the 3rd or the 4th round, just based off of course, he had some troubled background. I think that they're gonna sweep over that. But more so, if you look at it, yeah, he had 12 sacks last season. And if you're talking about a edge rusher that pretty much can play that Leo role or, be the defender. And he's pretty good against the run. Nick Bonitto and Sam Williams is pretty much good against the run. Look at how they set the edge, right? You want somebody that's able to set the edge and also still get around and get to the quarterback if it's a passing situation. I explained that this team on the defensive side of the coin could very much so be a force to be reckoned with, even if you guys think that this team will drop off tremendously. The defense, now with Dan Quinn going into his 2nd year with the Dallas Cowboys, could be even better. Now, for the other philosophy of getting a one tech, somebody that can help out in the inside, I get it. I get you on that. But one thing that I really, really, really want you guys to understand, Dan Quinn will have the rotational philosophy with your 3s and your 1s or what have you. You're still going to have Carlos Watkins, who had a world of a year last year as far as the Cowboys, as his best season ever. And I know it's not gaudy numbers, but this was his best season. So I'm quite sure going into his 2nd year with the Cowboys, it will be better. Big Bo, he's going to look better regardless of how you look at that. But the wild card is this right here, Neville Gallimore. And we all know Osa, he had a hell of a year last year. Man, he just hit the rookie wall. But Osa, he holds that wild card. Gallimore, Neville holds that wild card. Y'all saw how big that boy is. I said, there ain't no way. He was 306. He looked bigger than that. And I'm quite sure he will be hungry and be ready. And when they have certain packages, they'll kick DeMarcus Lawrence inside as the 3, and they can bring down Parsons on the edge. They can bring down some of the more flexibilities that we have with these guys, these edge rushers. And Dante Fowler, I've seen him being kicked into the inside as well, blitzing through the A-gap. So this season, pump your brakes on worrying about the defense. I'm quite sure everybody will be willing to compete, and I can't wait to see the new draft picks that we're going to get out of this draft. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.